Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, leader. Welcome back to the Fierce Factor podcast. It's your host, Kaylee here, and you are tuning in to episode number 207. And look, whether you are a business owner now or just looking to level up in your own career, or perhaps you're thinking about going out on your own someday, you know that we are the place for you to plug into for guidance, resources, support, and accountability. And that being said, I believe that part of my responsibility as a leadership advisor is to make sure that our clients are walking into situations fully prepared for what is coming. And the truth is, business ownership isn't for everyone. And if your goal is to be a household name in your market, in your industry, or in the world, your rise will bring complexities that you may not have considered. And while I have the privilege of quietly and discreetly working with some of the most prominent names in our industry, I'm here to tell you that climbing to the top is not as glamorous as it looks on Instagram. It takes grit, it takes scrappy resourcefulness, creativity, strategy, and internal work that most people, quite frankly, are not willing to do. And so today I want to talk to you about some of the unspoken truths about climbing to the top. And my goal is not to scare you away from reaching for the stars, but instead prepare you for the adversity that will inevitably come as you advance. If you are seeking true growth, here are 5 realities that you will face along your climb to the top. Reality number 1 is that you will feel more resistance the higher you climb. When you start out, of course, there are risks to take. I remember even my investment of $10,000 into a Tony Robbins business mastery course was a huge deal when I started my business. And you might be negotiating a lease or investing in equipment. You may have even made a scary jump from a lucrative salary to a risky entrepreneurial venture. Personally, when I look back at that $10,000 investment, I laugh inside at the comparison to the multiples of that, which I now pay every single month just to keep my business in business. And the reality is the stakes only get higher because you will need to enroll more support. At some point, you won't be the entire C-suite, right? You'll need to find ways to invest in all 5 branches of leadership for your organization: lawyers, financial oversight, marketing, operations, sales. Your business will become a beast. With that being said, as you advance out of your daily provider responsibilities and into a visionary CEO role, don't get too excited right away until you've built a well-oiled machine again. Each time you level up, every spoke in your ecosystem will require your oversight. So you will feel pulled in many different, often conflicting directions. If you're focused on team building, sales can't be ignored. If you're focused on marketing, operations can't take a back seat. It's all important. And often the path to time and financial freedom requires a completely different personal relationship with your business. Often you will need to become less emotionally attached, and you will need to detach yourself from some of the work that gives you the most fulfillment as you build. And this is just a reality. Uncomfortable truth number 2 is that you will let someone down on a daily basis. As you advance, your ability to solicit collective feedback and come to a democratic consensus in your business will essentially diminish. You will have to uphold the responsibility of every decision that is made. Yet, everyone else will be thinking about what's in it for them. We recently had a client who decided to terminate paying commissions on retail products in her practice because it was fostering competition among team members and it was becoming an accounting nightmare for her bookkeeper, essentially a strain on the business. So she had to think about the company's interest, her team's interest, and her client's interest, going through an in-depth decision-making process, forecasting every potential upside and downside. This one decision took weeks of planning, expensive consulting fees, hours and hours of energy consumption, thinking time, and strategic planning. And she ended up landing on a system that rewarded group buy-in that would best support the interests of her team culture and client experience. And she got backlash from her team members who weren't happy about their commissions being taken away. And she got backlash from her skincare reps who feared that this would impact their gross utilization. Tending to these concerns required another significant effort in weeks of handholding, explaining context, number crunching with each employee, creative planning with vendors and marketing, and building out a new checkout system. The list goes on. So as you can see, that one decision that a small solopreneur would make in 5 minutes takes countless hours of implementation, pivots, and polishing when you build a team, and it becomes more complex as you scale up. Meanwhile, this particular client has an overhead that's higher than ever. Her clients are reacting to economic recession, and the ultimate result of this decision is weighing heavily on her shoulders. At a time when she needs support more than ever, she has had to be busy smoothing the aftermath of change for everyone else. And this can be exhausting. If you make a decision to favor your customers, your team won't like it. If you make a decision to favor your team, your company profits might suffer. If you make a decision to set boundaries for yourself, the customers might get upset. If you cave into your company-only needs, your team might rebel. It can feel like a never-ending spiral of disappointment. So if you are a people pleaser and you do not coach through this, you will never level up beyond your current status. This is the reality, and this is an unspoken truth that you don't hear a lot about. It doesn't feel good. Being somebody that is set out on a mission to do great work and try to make an impact in the world, to feel like you're getting up every day, disappointing other people, it can be debilitating, and this can stop people in their tracks. Hey, I have a quick announcement, Goddess. I am thrilled to introduce a game changer in the world of female entrepreneurship. Introducing the Alt Experience. This May 17th and 18th in Newport Beach, California, we're setting the stage for something extraordinary. Imagine a gathering where female entrepreneurs share, learn, and connect like never before. The Alt Experience is that rare event where actionable strategies, meaningful connections, and transformational growth come together under one roof. The Alt Experience is all about learning the stories of adversity from thought leaders, sharing this seemingly uncharted and often lonely journey of entrepreneurship. It's the event you've always wished for, designed exclusively for women like you, ready to elevate your business and shatter those glass ceilings. For 2 days, immerse yourself in workshops, mastermind sessions, and talks from industry leaders who are eager to share their journeys and insights. This is where visionary thinking meets actionable advice, all set against the backdrop of the stunning Lido House Hotel in Newport Beach. Spaces are limited, so learn more and snag your spot today at klcconsultants.com/alt. Let's make history together. See you there. The unspoken truth number 3 is the higher you climb, the less others will be cheering for you. We've all heard the saying, it's lonely at the top. That's because as you advance, you will likely intimidate and threaten others. And it's not always obvious to them, but I share routinely one of the great pieces of advice that was given to me early on. And that is to remember that people will cheer for you until you exceed their expectations of you. Others will see you as a threat. Shockingly, even mentors of yours and people that you have looked up to, they will try to tell you things like, oh, just wait, you'll change your mind later, as if to talk you out of a path that they could have walked but chose not to. You will need to level up your mentorship and work with people who are investing deeply in their own personal growth, or you will outgrow them. Your colleagues will talk about you behind your back and secretly wish for you to fail or have a fall from grace so that the gap between you and them stops widening. I explained to a client recently that the brighter the spotlight there is on her, the darker the shadow she will cast. She will only grow alongside others who are seeking their own spotlight and see her as an inspiration and proof that that's available to them. Others will need to take a back seat in her life. And this is a blunt reality of what the climb looks like. As if you're climbing a mountain, you'll find troves of people at the bottom and very few at the top, because the pain of the pressure, the emptiness, and the seeming disapproval will reignite worthiness that you sought even as a child. It will make you feel things you didn't even know you were capable of feeling. You will start to question yourself. You will start to lose trust in others. A lot of things will come up that have to be addressed. And this is the reality of what is expected as you continue to climb to the top. Unspoken truth number 4 is that people will use you for their own benefit. Your phone will begin ringing. Can you come here? Can you train here? Can you speak here? Can you be on this panel? Can you join us for this event? Are you up for this collaboration? Everyone will want a piece of you because their affiliation with you will bring them a benefit, maybe notoriety or money or visibility or direct sales. Being in demand feels good, but you may soon feel that you are somewhat like a pawn in someone else's chessboard. And I've heard this a lot from other women who are on that circuit, right? At some point, you will set boundaries and need to focus on your own intentions in the world. And once again, you will disappoint others. You may even need to turn down really great friends and colleagues or turn down growth opportunities that you dreamed of when you started out your climb, because you've gotten to a point where you've changed your mind. You're somewhere midway along the way, and that mountain that you're climbing isn't the mountain you want to be on. And now all of a sudden, all that work that you've done seemingly has to be unraveled. And this will feel scary and feel like you're letting yourself down. But the reality is you have the ability to change your mind at any time. And I want you to be aware of the fact that even though you are seeking opportunities to advance your efforts, sometimes the people that you align with are not going to be the right people to help you get to where you want to go, even if they were at one point in time. And finally, unspoken truth number 5 is that true colors shine in adverse times. You'll hear from several women at our alt experience who will share with you stories of devastating disappointment, letdown, and betrayal from people who were all in when times were good. But as soon as it was a rebuilding year in the business or a difficult decision had to be made that induced uncomfortable change, those same people turned on them. You will hit your lowest lows and you will see surprising actions from people you trusted with your whole heart. And you will begin to notice alliances of people who want to commiserate about you or behind your back, or even the opportunities that you provided to them. And this will feel isolating and frustrating. And while you're doing your very best every single day to fulfill the mission that has been chosen for you, the legacy work you do will not always be appreciated by others, even those who have already benefited from your beautiful work. I wanted to share this valuable lesson with you today, not to be doom and gloom, but instead to help you realize that when you do face these truths, while you will feel lonely, you are not alone. No one has a perfect life, a perfect human experience. The harder you push yourself, the bigger the risks you take, the more juice you squeeze out of the lemon, the more intense the struggles you will have to face. You will hit your breaking point and you will have deeply painful struggles that will bring you to a crossroad of choice. And that is where you will either continue to face challenges the same way as before, or you will invest in support and tools to grow yourself into a woman who will acknowledge, embrace head on, and overcome those struggles as a new version of herself. Success is not about a process or a KPI, leader. It's an inside job. So if you're scrambling around trying to find the next magic solution, you will be sorely disappointed. If you want to climb to the top, you will need a new perspective, an up-leveled community, and a decision not to look back. Okay, Goddess, that's all I have for you today. I will chat with you same place, same time next week. Listen, leader, if you're vibing with me here, hang tight because I have a brand new resource for you. You are a successful, confident, powerful woman who just isn't into being average. No, you have a calling, and part of that calling is requiring you to level up. And I know that if you're working across the next $1 million milestone in your business, you need to be in the right circles. And perhaps that's why you found us. I'd love to invite you to join The Blueprint, a weekly resource for inspired, provocative thinkers who are taking this conversation to the next level. Get access to free business tools, podcast supplements, guideposts, and direct communication with me and my expert team. And of course, a masterfully curated circle of women making big moves and disrupting the status quo in aesthetics and wellness. You can link directly through the show notes or head to klcconsultants.com/blueprint. It's time to elevate. See you there, Goddess.